Alright, so I guess we're live, but I have no idea if it's working. Oh, there we go. Oh, DSV, I'll explain what happened. I guess we need to wait for a couple more people before I go into the explanations, and I also need to start shilling this on my Discord server. It's very upsetting that I have to go through this again, but I'll complain in a little bit. I know that you guys really love it when YouTubers whine and complain. So, there we go. Fresh bread. Yeah, so, what ended up happening, woke up 2 days ago, and I noticed that my computer is giving me the blue screen of death. So I gotta reinstall Windows. And as I'm reinstalling Windows, I delete everything, and some of the things that I had aren't working as intended, which means that I have to reinstall everything. I guess this is a new OBS version that I'm not very familiar with. It took a little bit for me to figure out how to make it work. I still don't know if I made it work properly. The most annoying thing, though, is that I can't use my phone as a proper webcam anymore. I used to have a program called Epoch Cam, and I even paid money for it, but now it just doesn't want to work. Like, I do everything that the installation requires, but when I connect it, it doesn't recognize my phone. So I gotta use something else, and as you can see, the quality of the image is a little bit worse. Hopefully I'll buy a webcam and I won't have to use my phone. Another thing that I'm upset is that I lost the troll for my entertainment channel, but I'm talking with the person that rigged it for me, and I'll get it back because a lot of people apparently liked it. The only problem with it is that some people said, like, why don't you make a new one? So that troll was made by a Blizzard artist, which gave it to me for free. And then I also had to pay money for the rigging. Now at the time it was $500 to do the rigging, but now the rigger is a lot more talented and is asking $2,000. So if I were to go for a new troll, it would be $4,000. It would be like $2,000 the art and $2,000 more the actual rigging. So yeah. It is what it is. Well, what can you do? What can you do? I did have a little bit of misfortune this month. My audio also broke, my speakers, so I now just have some headphones. And it's so annoying. Like, December is the worst month of the year. I swear to God, I really hate December. Like, you gotta spend a lot of money on presents. You gotta spend a lot of money on other people. It's... ugh. And it is the thing, like, you don't... I like getting presents for people when they least expect it. You know, like a kind gesture. I don't really like it. Oh, it's that particular day of the month. Like, tomorrow is the day where you have to give presents. Come on. And not to mention, you know, like, I'm thinking about Christmas. The more I think about it, the more annoying it is. Like, the commercial aspect of it, alright? Like, not the family union type of... the commercial aspect of it. It's like... yeah, sure, you're getting presents, but, like, you're also buying them. So, you know, you're never... you never feel like you're gaining something. Because you're forced to give, and then you gain. At least, like, if you're forced to give 1 month, and then you gain the next month, like, you feel like you're gaining something. But anyway. I'm hoping for Cattered for Twitter CEO. I have no fucking idea who Cattered is. So the mainstream media has to keep saying his name. Cattered. That is... alright, so we'll talk about that, but in a little bit. In the meantime, we can talk about more things. I'm not fundraising $4,000 for a new troll avatar, okay? I'll use the one that I have. Jesus fucking God. $4,000, that is a lot of money. The thing is, like, when I buy something for my job, I want to know that I'm making the money back. So, like, if I buy a bad video game, I can say, alright, well, this game is shit, but it costs like $60 and I can live stream it and I can get the money back. You know, like, that's something that I do. But if I'm thinking like, okay, so I will spend $4,000 on a troll avatar, like, it would take me like 5, maybe 6 months to get that money back, which it's like No. Try having your birthday being 2 days before Christmas. My mother, God rest her soul, actually did have something similar, and it is very upsetting. Like, no one celebrates your birthday. No one wants to come to your birthday. It's horrible. Like, why would you do that? You need to learn how to fuck people. Like, you need to fuck so that it's not 9 months before Christmas. Like, don't do that to your kid. Don't do that to your child. Jesus. Nothing is worse than having your birthday on Christmas or on New Year's. Or any day before or after. It's like, what are you doing? Tax write-off. I guess I could have it as a tax write-off, but like, how much of it is, you know, like, no, it's just, like, if I want to have a tax write-off, I just buy a new computer. With $4,000, you can buy a new computer. I mean, $4,000, I don't know, like, other streamers talk about as if it's nothing. Kind of makes sense, I guess, you know, like, there are a lot of streamers that are millionaires, that are friends of mine, and they talk about $4,000 like it's change, like it's peanuts. But for me, it's a lot of money, and I genuinely, like, think with $4,000, there's so much more you can do. You can just make a new PC. You can buy a second monitor. So, yeah. More buying than giving. I do think, like, Christmas is more buying. The annoying thing about Christmas is, like, figuring out what to buy. Like, that really annoys me, right? Because every person is different. Like, if you actually want to make a gift, the worst type of gift that I think exists for Christmas, and I'll piss off a lot of people, but it's so fucking true. Like, look at it in your heart, you know it's true. The worst type of gift you can get someone for Christmas is one of those gift card vouchers, right? Like, just give the person the fucking money. Just give the person the fucking money. Do not buy a gift card voucher for a store that the person is now forced to shop in. You know, like, just give them the fucking money. Buy an envelope. Put the money in the envelope. Give them the envelope. Do not. Just do not. Like, it is the most annoying thing. Because now you have a voucher in a place. You have to go there and you have to shop something. Usually, you find something that's maybe more than the amount of money you have on the voucher. So now you have to put your own cash. It's horrible. I think it's the worst gift ever. And it also shows, like, okay, so you didn't know what to get that person. So you're literally just giving them money. For my new monitor, I'll probably buy, I was thinking about it. Like, maybe I should buy an iPad. Well, not an iPad, but, like, a pad. You know? Like, something like that. Like, why buy a second monitor? Just get a pad that you can read the chat like that. Best gifts are consumables. Everyone likes I don't think, like, consumables are good gifts. Like, it's in the name. You consume them. I don't, it's like, and again, it's something that you give in order to just give it away. It's like, no. No, the best gift is, like, if you actually know someone. Like, for example, now, if someone knows me and, you know, would bring me some speakers for my PC, like, that would be great. You know, like, if you actually know the person, you know what they like, and you actually manage to get that gift, that's the best gift. But, like, other than that, I don't know. $2 of buyer's remorse. Well, thank you, Tim. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Twitter. Yeah, a tablet. A tablet, exactly. Not to mention, like, if I legitimately wanted a second monitor, I thought about it, you know, because the chat keeps pushing me to wasteful capitalism. If I wanted a second monitor, I would just buy a laptop. Oh, look, Tomo is there. Flowers are a gift. Yes, okay, Tomo. Flowers are for plants the same way cocks are for horses. Like, think about that, because it's literally, right? Like, the genital organ of a plant is the flower, and the genital organ of a horse is the cock. So, I generally don't understand the idea. Like, here's the genital organ of a plant. If I wanted to get someone flowers, like, I would get the artificial ones. I know it sounds cheesy, but, like, if you look at artificial flowers now, they look so fucking realistic, you can barely tell them apart. They last forever, you don't have to water them. They're perfect. Just get some artificial flowers, right? Like, just buy a nice vase, or vase, right? And then you use that. This lecture again. Well, Katis, Tomo didn't know. Now she does. And knowing is half the battle. So, anyway, right. Twitter. Elon Musk started a poll today asking whether or not people want him as the CEO. Sorry, as the head of Twitter, because they don't have CEO now. Now, for those of you who actually pay attention, you will know that Elon Musk said that he's not going to be at the head of Twitter forever. And that makes sense. I mean, he's got a lot of businesses, he's got a lot of companies. So, the thing that he is doing right now is the same thing that happened on Reddit with Chairman Powell. Now, if you guys don't remember Chairman Powell of Reddit, holy shit. Like, she... let me see if I can pull her up a little bit. Very lovely lady, got a Wikipedia page. Very ushi-kushi. By the way, when it comes to censorship, like, I just noticed this. Every single time, like, I don't know, like, I blame the mainstream media for being racist. But whenever it comes about censorship, like you hear, you know, some gross violation of human rights, you know, something staggering, like censorious, and you look on CNN, there's probably like a ethnical Chinese person that's talking about that, you know? It's like, we need to get the vaccines. But the problem is, like, people have too much freedom. And in order to get them to have the vaccines, they need to be given freedom if they take the vaccines. And, you know, like, that type of thing, it's like, we need to use the carrot and the stick. We must lock people up. And we need to tell them, hey, you want freedoms? You need to get the Pfizer communion. You know, like, every single time. I'm fucking real. Now, the reason Chairman Powell is a little bit more controversial is that she's the first person on the internet that started censoring. So, I'm actually very old. I'm ancient, and I know stuff. I remember back in the day when the internet was largely uncensored. We're talking about 2014. And in 2014, the concept of a website censoring was unthinkable. Right? I mean, the left and the right, everyone believed that free speech is important. And every website, like, they had various terms of service. You usually had, like, things like, okay, so you're not allowed to impersonate someone, you're not allowed to spam, you're not allowed to insult the mods. Like, that, you would usually have, like, terms of service like that. You're not allowed to, you know, in some cases, like, there weren't even, like, rules against racismus, bigotrismus, homophobismus. Like, those came later. But, like, at the beginning in 2014, right? Like, those were the rules. Don't spam, don't impersonate people, don't impersonate the mods. Sometimes it was, like, don't start drama with other members. But that was pretty much it, right? Like, the internet was very free. And Reddit was the first one which started censoring. Like, I remember it was, I believe, like, during Gamergate, Total Biscuit came in to have a conversation on Reddit, and everyone had their messages deleted and shit. And turns out that it was this lady, right? Ellen Powell. She was the chairman. And she brought censorship on the internet, unlike the world has never seen before at that point. And people started calling her Chairman Powell. So she eventually got fired because she went after another woman. Like, at the time, feminism was very important, right? It's kind of like transgenderism is now. Back then it was feminism, like the J.K. Rowling version of feminism, right? You know, it was even before the Me Too era, but it was like during the time when you had articles with all men are rapists, the patriarchy, the heteronormative, cisgender patriarchy in the United States, the magical cock and balls in the sky which are keeping women oppressed, you know, like the conspiracy theory that the fathers and the brothers and the sons, they're working together, sometimes even without talking to each other, with the sole purpose of keeping their wives and their daughters oppressed, you know. So anyway, right. It's not just for watching the chat, it's how it forms professional stream. Second stream is for switching OBS scenes. Oh, I did not know that. Holy shit. I need to learn. Anyway, more important for pro stream than light behind you. That is true. I can't believe men are evil in 2022. But anyway, right, so when we're talking about Chairman Powell. Now, she goes after this other Reddit person, which was beloved in the community. And the thing with Chairman Powell is that the left and the right dislike her. Like, it's usually the only time someone on the left gets canceled. It's when they manage to unite the left and the right. So, she gets fired, right? But this is the tactic that Reddit did. And this is the tactic that a lot of companies do. They will have some unpopular decisions that do not fly well with their entire user base. So in the case of Reddit, censorship. The idea that if you have a subreddit, there's going to be the Reddit admins that force you to censor in their name, because otherwise they shut down your subreddit. So that type of change was implemented by Chairman Powell, and it upsets a lot of people. But then the Reddit shareholders, they fired that CEO and they replaced them with another CEO, right? So what happens is the changes are there, they remain the same, but the people stop complaining. So this is what I think happens on Twitter, right? Like Elon Musk comes in, he makes changes to TOS, starts creating a new culture. It's like, okay, well, you may be a blue checkmark journalist fart sniffer, but you're still a citizen. You're going to be treated like everyone else. So he creates a new culture. He starts modifying the TOS, and then he steps down, and someone else takes over, right? So, but the changes remain. So that's a very good way of doing PR. That's a really great way of doing marketing. Like you have a company, you want to fuck with people, you want to make some decision that piss people off. You put a sacrificial lamb, you put like someone that's a CEO there. He makes all those people upset, and then you fire him and you get someone else, but you maintain the changes. So anyway, no, it's not like boiling the frog. It's completely different. I don't even know how to say it. It's kind of like you're at work and you have this abusive boss. So like you're at work, right? And everything is fine. And then this new boss comes in and starts abusing you. And you complain, and they fire the boss and replace him with another boss, but the new boss abuses you still? But like for some reason you don't make that connection. Because you're thinking like, oh, well, the previous boss was bad, but like this one, right? It normalizes the thing. I'll super chat after you get the second screen. I'll find the excuse. I'm not getting a second screen, dude. It's kind of what Disney did with the Bobs. I don't think so. I don't think like the Bobs were planned. Like usually when you have like this sacrificial lamb CEO, they're there for a couple of months. They're not there for years. And with Disney, I don't think that they planned for the backlash. Like they literally didn't expect. What I think happened with Disney, like, and you need to understand, with large corporations, it's kind of like a nation. Oftentimes the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. It's very difficult to control a company that's very large. I mean, Twitter is a small company, and Jack Dorsey didn't know what's happening at Twitter. So I don't think that with Disney, it's the thing with the Bobs that you're saying. But anyway, right, so, Pippa delivered. It's time for me to deliver. I never said I'll get a second monitor. I said I'll get a second monitor if I have 1,000 viewers. I don't see that number. Right now, it's 127. If I get like 10 times more viewers than I have now, I'll buy a second monitor. So anyway, are you shadow banned? No, you're not shadow banned, Max Timmer. I see you. God damn it, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Goddamn second monitor. Okay, right, I remembered the train of thought. So, I think that Elon Musk wanted to do this from the beginning. And the thing that he makes polls and he asks people, like, I don't believe a single poll that Elon Musk makes. It's such a dumb thing. He owns fucking Twitter. Like, he can manipulate the poll any way he wants. Like, there is no way you can control whether or not the poll that he is making is legit or not. Because, like, if you control Twitter, you can make that website display whatever the fuck you want. So you can just manipulate it from the inside, right? Like, the thing is, like, if you were to make a poll on a different website, I would believe that poll. But he's making the poll on fucking Twitter. He owns Twitter. You know, like, it makes absolutely no sense. So I don't believe the polls. And then, it's also the fact that the polls that he is asking are so fucking obvious to the point where you kind of know the result. It's like, oh, should Donald Trump come back to the platform? Of course. Like, even leftists, they want him back because they're making him money. Sorry, they're making them money. VB like, stop the count. Yeah, but it's like literally like stop the count. Literally. Like, Elon Musk, stop the steal. You're making a poll on Twitter and you own Twitter. Like, how can I believe that what you're posting that is true? Right? At least like put it on a different website to make it look legit. Every poll Elon makes is a bot hunt. I don't even know if people bother botting Elon Musk's polls, but yeah. So, regarding the new CEO, I do believe that he's still going to have to do what Elon tells him. Because it's not like another company that's publicly traded. And you have like the shareholders. No, like Elon Musk literally owns Twitter. Like he actually owns the libs. So, if he wants to, you know, he can name someone else as head of Twitter. And a day after he can rename himself. Right? Like it's his company. It's like literally kind of like his house. You know, if it's your house, you can let someone else live there. And then if you're bored, you can go back in. Depending on the laws in your state. But like in the case of Twitter, it's his company. So, you know, he can name anyone he wants. He can name Donald Trump. And then the next day he can say, okay, Donald, you're gone. I'm naming someone else, right? Which means that whomever is going to be the head of Twitter, whomever is going to be the CEO, is going to have to do whatever Elon Musk tells him. Like Elon Musk doesn't have to personally be there. He can just say, all right, well, I want this gone. I want this to be done. I want, right? So, there's literally no difference. It's going to be funny to see all the journalists and blue check marks happy that Elon is gone, because that's literally what he wants, right? He wants to, oh, well, the bad man is gone now. Hilarious. Speaking of birthday, this is my 9-month milestone. Well, thank you, Soldio. I know that you're a very old member to the channel. By the way, I actually missed what happened to Abdi Muhammad. I'm running out of Muslim friends. Any day now, I won't be able to be Islamophobic. Kanye as the head of Twitter. Right, so the head of Twitter. I don't know if it was announced yet. Like when I started the stream, it wasn't. Let me just check for a little bit. I'm looking into it. Give me 1 second. Elon Musk. Here we go. So yeah, he hasn't announced the new head of Twitter. I think it's going to be a business person, right? So I think it's going to be someone non-controversial, someone that I probably not even heard of, or maybe I heard of in passing, but it's not someone that's. Of course, you know, the mainstream media is going to say why he's a bad person and they're going to dig into his past and shit. But I don't think it's going to be like a famous individual, right? Definitely not Kanye West. Or J.K. Rowling. That, like, if you wanted to troll Twitter, I would have made J.K. Rowling as the new. Like, if you just want to troll people, right? You're not interested in making money. You just want to own the libs. J.K. Rowling, CEO of Twitter. Boom. Yeah, he said be careful what you wish for. But I don't think it's going to be someone controversial. Probably going to be like some business person, or, you know, maybe someone from his other companies. Probably a geek. Jack Dorsey might be possible. I mean, he was interested in the job, you know, maybe. From what I can tell, Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey have a positive relationship. None of the things that came out with the Twitter leaks incriminated Jack Dorsey in anything. Jack Dorsey would probably be, yeah. So this is like the person that I think is possible. Jack Dorsey. I would say that Jack Dorsey would fit the role very well. He would have to listen to Elon Musk, right? Because it's Elon's company. It would please the left. They can't say shit about him, right? Because it's Jack Dorsey. I mean, he's the one that started it, right? And yeah, some right-wingers will complain. But I would find it very plausible. I'm not saying that Jack Dorsey is the person that I want, but I'm saying that from a business standpoint, like if you wanna do this whole Chairman Powell thing, where you let the CEO to make bad, unpopular decisions, and then you fire him and you replace him with someone else, I think Jack Dorsey would definitely fit the criteria. And I know, like, a lot of right-wingers will hate Jack Dorsey, but I'm telling you, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter because it would still be Elon Musk. Like, it's still his company. The thing with Jack Dorsey, he didn't... A lot of people blame him, but, like, he didn't have the power to do what he wants. Because, like, it was a publicly traded company. You still have to listen to shareholders. You can't just fire everyone like Elon Musk did. You can't clean house if it's a publicly traded company. And from what I gather, like, Jack Dorsey was against Trump getting banned. He was against a lot of censorship that was done. Right? Like, a lot of Vijayisms, which happened at Twitter. Jack Dorsey was against. I can see him. Like, I definitely can see Jack as being a person that, you know what, I'm actually going to tweet this. Let me see if I can. I have a feeling that Jack Dorsey may come back as CEO. And let's see if I'm going to be right or not with the prediction. If it's not Jack Dorsey, it's probably going to be someone that I've never heard about. Like some random person, you know, like some guy that's a business person. Could be working at SpaceX or at Tesla, you know. Just, the media will tell me that he's a bad individual, you know, racist jokes, anti-Semitism, of course. But like other than that, it's going to be like someone that I will need to read about why they're a bad person. I wouldn't know. 1,000 viewers equals your streams are too short and you rarely have guests. That is correct. Which is why I'll never get the second monitor. My streams aren't that short. You know, like, I make 5 videos a day. The thing is, if I stream more than 1 hour, I would probably even run out of content. And the thing with the guests, ever since YouTube is making people responsible for what guests say, I'm really reluctant to have guests. Such a annoying thing. It's like, okay, so you're on the stream, right? And you have a guest, and he says something that's a TOS violation, and you get the community strike. How does that make sense? I don't fucking know. But anyway, right, everyone that gets 1,000 viewers has a show that lasts 2-3 hours and has a co-host and guests. That's not necessarily true. I had thousands of viewers in the past. The thing is, like, I sabotage myself. I didn't want to be that big. I started deleting streams. I started streaming at irregular intervals. I started... just not caring, I guess, right? But I was too successful in being unsuccessful. So here I am. Please get Louis Leval back. But he's not my man. Like, I don't know where I can get him from, and I can't get him to go back on his channel and make videos, right? I think he got fired from his job. Like, he had the job that he liked. He got fired from it, and then he got another job, but the other job doesn't allow him to have enough time to do YouTube videos. So that's what happened. And if I'm not mistaken, like, his channel also got demonetized, so there's that. I know you sabotaged yourself. It's terrible. Why you do this? Because many other streamers from my generation lost their channels and stuff. I'm not making the rules on this fucking platform. I mean... they are what they are, and you can't do the shit you could do in 2014. Maybe one day Elon Musk will buy Twitch. I don't want him to buy YouTube. I want him to buy Twitch. Can you imagine? Just imagine for a little bit. I know it's impossible, right? But a man can dream. Like, imagine if Elon Musk would buy Twitch. Imagine Hassan Piker the next day. That's the only thing that I want. You know, many people go like, okay, what do you want to do before dying? And they will say, oh, I want to visit the world. You know, go around the world, visit different countries. I want to have, you know, see my kid, I want to see my grandkids. I want to see my kids go to college. No. I want to see Elon Musk buy Twitch. That is, like, if I see that, If I see that, I will say, you know what, from this day forward, I can die, and I will not regret anything. I don't care how young I am. I can be like 36 years old, and I will be like, okay, I seen Elon Musk buy Twitch. I have lived enough. I have seen everything. I'm happy. You know, if death comes for me, I will tell death, I will embrace death. I will be like, you know what, death? I can go. I don't have anything left. Like, I have seen what I wanted to see. I have experienced what I wanted to experience. I mean, that would be sublime. The crying, the holy shit. Like, can you imagine? Just try to imagine. Just name the streamer. Name the streamer and try to imagine the stream they would do the next day after Elon Musk has purchased Twitch. You know, try to imagine Pokemon. Like, Pokemon. You know, like what would she say? What would Pokemon say if Elon Musk bought Twitch? What do you think about the quarterings? The sky is falling desperation this morning. I think the quartering is a very savvy YouTuber. He understands the platform. He understands how to clickbait. He's more like business oriented. Like he wants the stuff which produces views. The sky is falling produces views. What can I say? You know, it's working. It's not something that I enjoy doing. Tim Pool is the same. Tim Pool, every single fucking video, it's either war or civil war or World War III or fucking knows what else. But the sky is falling, right? Like, the sky is falling gives you views. Why do you think CNN had a death counter in the lower right corner of the screen? Because it gives you views. If you get views, you make money. Simple. You know, if I make a stream, it's like, oh, the world is falling. You know, one of my most successful videos was like World War III. Boom, boom, boom. And like 200,000 viewers. Scaring people works. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't want to do it. But other people do it. They're successful. It is what it is. You lose interest fast if they do it enough. Yeah, but like not all people are like you. There are people who are literally glued. Like every single time they see World War III, they click, 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 click. What can you do? It's like if people want to do that. We should make Trump CEO just to go troll the left. Do you watch quartering? I suspect your audience overlaps. So yeah, I mean, it's probably because quartering and myself are friends, but back in the day we were a lot more close. Like we did a lot of streams together and we played Dungeons and Dragons together. And when he had the problem with his YouTube channel, it was shut down. I helped him up. So, you know, he promoted me, I promoted him. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap between our subscriber bases. I think Quartering is a nice guy. I mean, I'm really glad he's on our side, as you say. He's very business-oriented, as I mentioned, but it's understandable when you have millions of subscribers. You can't have, you know, millions of subscribers and be like me. Or worse, edgy. I mean, like, think about it. There's no YouTuber that has millions of subscribers that is edgy. It's like, when you have millions of subscribers, you have a lot to lose. So, Quartering is at least very honest about being a grifter. I don't know. I don't really follow him. The thing that I like about Quartering, and this is another thing that I like about Keemstar as well. Whenever someone gets censored or banned, at least they try to help. Right? Like, not a lot of big YouTubers do that. But when you have a small YouTuber that needs help, you know, they got censored, they got banned, you can count on Quartering and Keemstar to give a shout out. And that's all I care. I don't give a shit about anything else. Oh, what but the Keemstar said? Do you know what he did? I don't fucking care. It's not my brother in arms. We don't wear the same jersey. We don't fuck in the ass. Like, all I care about, you know, is this person decent enough to help if some shit goes wrong? If the answer is yes, then I have nothing against them. If the answer is no, well, I still have nothing against them, but I at least I will say I like them. And like, oh, well, I don't know who this guy is. That's what I would say. So yeah. Where's my Lotus Eater appearance? On the Lotus Eater channel. I don't know. You can have 100,000 and be a based bunny. Yeah, I do think that Pippa is going to go far. She might have 250,000 subscribers by the end of next year. It really depends. I mean, okay, so I can't predict obviously what's going to happen. I mean, maybe she gets into a fight with her CEO. Maybe she could get fired, start going independent. If she does, I will help her out. So, you know, outside of unpredictable things, of drama and you know, like other issues, if she just manages to do the same content she does right now, and she does it for another year, she's going to have around 250,000 subscribers by the end of next year. That's my prediction. Armpits at 200,000? No. It was feet in mashed potatoes. Like feet in mashed potatoes at 250,000. Get the dog pill. Oh, I see. It is what it is. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to make predictions because, first of all, the economy isn't doing well. Like next year, it's going to be worse. But secondly, you don't know the trends. You know, like on YouTube, you can have like a trend. Oh, like VTubers are now popular, and then something else is popular, right? So it might be like something else. For example, they're going to Bandai Namco. Uh-oh. Aiden Paladin is drunk. Quick, Aiden, give me a super chat. Search your wallet, Aiden, while you're drunk. So, Bandai Namco is making AI VTubers, right? So, an artificial intelligence which talks to the chat, plays video games, and the purpose of playing video games is to interact rather than to win. I mean, maybe that's going to be very popular, and no one is going to watch VTubers then. Who knows? If you have like an AI which is very funny and entertaining and it can stream 24 fucking hours a day, yeah, it's going to take a big chunk of the market. Good prediction, V. I know, Zenith. Thank you. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for a while. I can look at the growth. I mean, let me show you. Let me see if I can show you. So, Social Blade. Going to go to Pipkin Pippa. I mean, this is fucking madness. Okay, so for a channel her size, which is 100,000 subscribers, right? It's 105 now. She's getting 1,000 subscribers per day. 2,000 subscribers per day. This is insane. Okay, like this level of growth, I haven't seen since 2014 YouTube. For almost any channel. And for a live stream channel to get 180,000 views per day, that's fucking sick. And that is ridiculous, right? Like, I mean, look at the graph. Look at the fucking graph, right? So she was just going like this, and then to the fucking moon. Right? Like, when I look at a channel like this, yeah, 250,000, that's probably lowballing it. Let me show you in comparison with someone else. Let's take Short Fat Otaku, right? So remember, Pippa is making 1,000, 2,000 subs a day. And when you look at Short Fat Otaku, this is normal. Like, this is how I expect most channels to be. You don't get to see unless they make 1,000 subs, right? But hey, it is what it is, right? It's stagnant. And he's got 129,000 subscribers. So, yeah, with Pippa, like, she is dynamite. She's going to go there. I think she's going to become as big as Jim. I took advantage of Aiden Paladin. You know what, Aiden? You can write a Me Too tomorrow. You can write a tweet longer saying that V took advantage of you. Like, you were drunk, you went into his stream, and you did not consent, or you regretted consenting. No, that's the best one. You regretted consenting. I love that one. Regretted consent. Can you imagine if you can do that in other contracts? Like, for example, I don't know, you want to buy an apartment and you don't like it and you regretted consenting to the contract, so you can just sell the apartment back. She has more surge than me. Dude, of course she does. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like she is incredibly popular. Like, I noticed her since she had... I think she had around 20,000 subs or so. And I noticed her content and I was like, okay, well, she's going to explode. If anything, if she wasn't held back, because like a lot of the content that she wants to do, the CEO doesn't allow it. If she wasn't held back, she would be a lot bigger now. Like she would have at least 200,000 subs. But it is what it is, you know? Because the thing is, like, she could have streamed with Nick Riqueta. Like, just by streaming with Nick Riqueta, she would have gotten a lot of views. She could have streamed with other YouTubers that I'm not going to name for different reasons, but she could have streamed with Jim, right? Like, Mr. Medicare wants to stream with her. But her boss isn't going to let her. I'm pretty sure that she would stream with Jim. Like, I'm sure that she would want to. And you know that Jim gets like 10,000 people just on a stream. Like, if they would stream together, they would probably have like 20,000 or so. So, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the restriction that her boss had, she would have been at least 200,000 subscribers now. I don't think she would stream with Tim Pool because Tim Pool wants you to go there in person, and she's a VTuber. So, but yeah, I mean, a Pippa Medicare stream, that I mean, I would pay money for that. If they were to have like $100, you know, view, like you can only see the stream if you pay $100, I would pay it. Unironically, like I would save money and I would pay it. It would probably be better than just going to the movies and paying money for a ticket at the movies. It's just like, there's way too fucking entertaining. But yeah, so it is what it is. Still, I mean, even with the restrictions, the fact that she's managing to be... Tenma is also quite popular on Face Connect, and there's a couple of others. But anyway, I don't want to talk about only VTubers now. She goes in person, then they would overlay the stream. I don't think Pippa goes in person. Like look, the thing with Pippa though, she grew as a person a lot. Like when she started streaming, she would freeze whenever she had guests. She was very awkward. She would have anxiety. Like she went over that. She doesn't care anymore. Like she's now a professional. And I feel like a lot of things she grew, but I still don't see her like going into someone else's studio. I still don't see her going to Tim Pool and streaming in person. Tim requires you to go to the Beanie compound. Tim is based. I met Tim Pool in real life. He's a nice guy, yeah. The thing with going in real person, I understand why he does it. The conversations are a lot different when you're in person. I mean, there are things you can say on the internet that you wouldn't say face-to-face to someone. And also the way the conversation flows is different. Like on the internet you have lag. On the internet you don't know necessarily like when to speak because the other person is talking. But if you go face-to-face, everything changes. So yeah, I do understand. But I wouldn't, like a lot of people ask Tim Pool to invite me. Obviously he's not going to because like I'm a fucking nobody, but I don't understand like why do I see every single day when people are asking, it's like, who should I invite? Like invite V. I'm not going to the United fucking States. Like even if I was invited, it's like, oh yeah, but he pays for the plane. I don't fucking care, he pays. Do you know how long the trip is? It's like 12-hour trip with 3 commutes. Like I would have to change 3 airplanes just to get there. I would have to go to London. From London you go to New York. From New York you take an airplane to God knows where the fuck Tim Pool is. So yeah, it's funny how leftists don't want to go to Tim Pool in person because they can't leave the call when it gets too real. The thing with Tim Pool is that, it is true, he does interrupt people a lot. And I noticed this. It's so fucking frustrating. Like, especially when he had Alex Jones on. Like, that's when I stopped watching Tim Pool. At least the Timcast, right? Like, I watched his other channel. But, you have Alex Jones, and he's, you know, like, saying something that's interesting. Boom, Tim Pool interrupts. Tim Pool interrupts. And I get why he's doing it, right? Because, like, YouTube TOS is up his asshole. So he needs to show that, oh, well, he's keeping the guest in check. But, like, they didn't invite fucking Alex Jones. It's the same thing with Kanye West, right? Like, he invited Kanye West and kept interrupting him. Like, why do you invite controversial guests then? It's like, oh, I mean, I get that the TOS. Like, if you invite Kanye West, right? Like, if I were to invite Kanye West to my channel, I know what would happen. I would probably get, like, 10,000 viewers, and I would get my channel shut down. Then, like, I would get 10,000 viewers for a couple of minutes, and then I would get a community guideline strike, because Kanye West would say something. So, like, why would you invite someone like that? What, you know, unless you want your channel shut down. Because that's what happens, right? Like, if you want, okay, I want to shut down my channel, okay, I'm going to invite Kanye West. But, like, other than that, just don't. I wanted to see my family for the first time in 3 years, and I just asked him if it would be cool to be coming on. The thing is, I have a feeling that if I were to ask Tim Pool, he would probably say yes. Like, you would find a date where there's no other guest. So I do think, like, I could, but it's in the fucking America. It's in goddamn fucking America. The thing is, I would pay for my plane ticket as well. That's not the problem. But, like, holy shit, like a 14-hour trip. And it's not just the trip. It's like you have to do the return trip as well. Tim got his place shot up. I don't know what exactly happened, but I think it was like one of his previous employees tried to return to the compound in order to start shit, and someone fired at him. You have to be a little bit local, considering that Tim Pool not only has guns, but he's on edge given how many people are trying to fuck with him. So I do understand that. It's just like, why the fuck would you do it? Why do people pretend Kanye West isn't an Operation Mockingbird? It's... Okay, first of all, he lost a lot of money. Like, he was the richest black person in the United States. And then he became... I can't say poor, but he lost, I think, like half of his wealth. Why the fuck would he go along with that? Secondly, the change was way too gradual. Like, the change happened from point A to point B to point C. Right? With Milo Yiannopoulos, for example, I can say that, yeah, he's grifting. Like, Milo Yiannopoulos, one day, you know, I'm not gay anymore. Right? Milo Yiannopoulos, one day, is like, oh, I'm married to a black person. Right? Like, I am the gay, Christian, Jewish person. You know, like, all the check boxes. Right? And one day it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm now not gay anymore. And he went on various Christian podcasts, and, you know, he's repenting and all. Maybe, I don't know, but, like, personally, I don't believe it, right? So when you have, like, the Mockingbird operation, you kind of get to see it, and you kind of feel people, right? Like, there is no fucking way that Kanye West isn't legitimately believing what he is saying. Now, with the thing with Kanye West, yeah, he is influenced by other people. I'm pretty sure that Milo Yiannopoulos and Nick Fuentes and all of those, you know, whispering in his ear. Yeah, sure, you know, like, for example, I called it immediately when I saw the dinner at the Mar-a-Lago house. I was like, oh, that's definitely Milo, like, 100%. And after that, Milo came out and said, yeah, like, he is the one that organized the dinner event. Kanye lost everything, then starts funding alt-right nutters. But, like, with his ideology, where do you think he can go to? Like how many people do you think agree with what he is saying? Who can he get that's, you know, going to support his platform? Is that right? Like, it makes perfect sense. I don't see anything that Kanye is doing that I would say, yeah, I don't... Like, from his point of view, from his logic, from his reasoning, right? Like what, with his ideology, what he's doing makes sense to me. Um, it's gonna be in the ultimate neutral zone, Iceland. Yeah, someone broke into Tim Pool's house and got shot at. I heard about that. One of his employees, actually. That actually happens a lot, by the way. Most of the break-ins are people you know. So, people who work for you, people that can even be from your family. You trust someone else with information when you're gone. Like, that actually happens a lot. Did you know, like, how shocked I was when I would go to, like, I was in law school, and I would go to a lot of trials, and you would hear, like, the brother would break into the house of his other brother, or a cousin would break in, and I'm thinking, like, man, fucking guy, you know, it's your family. Like, why are you shitting when you're eating? You know, like, I can understand if you're stealing from a stranger, but you're stealing from your own fucking family, you know? And the reasoning is that the brother would say, it's like, okay, so you know what he has in his house? Because it makes sense. Like, I understand why it's happening. You know what they're having in their house, right? You know where they're keeping their valuables and stuff. Because, like, you're brothers. You go to Christmas together. You spend Thanksgiving together. So you know the house. You know when he's gone. You know where, you know, he keeps the valuables. And then it's like they break in. So yeah, a lot of the break-ins are done by actual family members or employees. Like that can also happen, right? Like the cleaning lady, for example, she manages to use soap in order to copy your house key, and then gives the house key to someone else, and that someone else comes to break in. Like, the establishment, yeah, like the establishment has an interest to prop up Kanye because he takes votes from right-wingers, right? Like, especially since a lot more black people were voting Republican, like Kanye is a really good way of helping the Democrats win. Ye's speech is free speech. Not on Twitter, apparently. Tim Pool, the self-swatting lefty. I don't think Tim Pool self-swats himself, man. I think he would have been caught if he did it. Like, when you swat yourself, like, okay, so I have seen, you know, Tim Pool, like, the first time he got swatted, he left the stream on. The donations were flowing in. So he had empty chairs, right? They were evacuated, and for like a couple of hours, just money kept pouring in. Now, you think that's cool, right? I mean, you're making money, you're not doing anything. I would love to just leave the street, to do the Hassan Piker video react, you know, where it's the microphone and there's nothing else. I would love to do that. However, demo, shikushi. First of all, it can only work a couple of times. But secondly, you get caught. Like if you do it once, okay. You do it twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Like, at one point, you get caught. And it ruins your entire career. It's too fucking risky. Just sit the fuck down and do the interview, right? Like, I don't think he is swatting himself. If it's a person that like does it once, it's like one person got swatted, okay, you might conclude that, okay, well, maybe this is a very disingenuous person who is taking advantage. So yeah. So far, I'm very accurate at calling things. You know, like every single fucking time I said like something. Like, for example, I said Anita Sarkeesian doesn't believe her bullshit. I was right. Brianna Wu didn't leave her house. I was right. Almost every single fucking time I'm calling something, I'm right. Oh, I remember disagreeing with Mr. Medeker. With Mr. Medeker, like I was on a stream with him. I'm not getting Aiden on because I'm having 6 more minutes and I'm leaving. I had Mr. Medeker on a stream, and we were talking about Amos Yee. So Amos Yee, for you who don't remember him, although he's quite famous, like he was in a Muslim nation, started talking mad shit about Islam. He got arrested in prison, right? Like he had to, so he was facing prison, fled to the United States in order to escape political persecution. And once in the United States, he was like a big thing because this was happening when you had all the terrorist attacks in the European Union, and like you couldn't talk about Islam that much. Wasn't politically correct, and you had like this guy, got persecuted politically in a country for being an atheist. So people wanted to talk to him. They invited him to various events. I mean, he was making a lot of money. And then he talks about pedophilia, and he says like some of the most bad shit on the internet, saying like babies can consent, and like just. And Mr. Bedecker was like, no, he's trolling. And I was like, there is no fucking way this man is trolling. There is no fucking way in hell this man is trolling. Because I was looking at it, it's like, okay, he lost all of his political connections. He is not invited anywhere. He's not making any more money. He lost his house, I believe. Like the landlord kicked him out. There is no fucking way someone's trolling like that. You don't kick your life away for a troll. There is no way. Turns out he wasn't trolling. If I'm not mistaken, he's in prison now, right? Like he got convicted. So I think I'm good at spotting these things. Dankula thought he was. It didn't make sense. People do not troll by throwing away their livelihood. No one is that dedicated. No one. Sure, you can troll a little bit. Maybe you can lose your... Okay, you can lose your livelihood while trolling if you're stupid. Right? Like, you don't think that there's going... Like, you don't think you're going to get caught. You get caught. And then, like, the consequences are never the same. Okay, that can happen. But, like, knowingly... Like, flat out knowingly that you're going to lose everything. And you still do it, that is not trolling. That, like, you need to have convictions. You need to have convictions in order for something like that to happen. I'm not having Aiden on. I got 3 more minutes. I got 2 more videos to do. Leave me alone. 3 a.m. Holy shit, it's 3 a.m. She skipped Stitch and Adam's stream for me. I appreciate it. I don't think she's upset that I'm not having her on. Speaking of, I didn't do coffee. Holy crap. Getting a little bit sleepy. 3 a.m. So, anyway, I could actually end it here. There's like some games that I want to recommend. River City Girls 2 came out. If you guys saw me play River City Girls 1, I would highly recommend you play 2. If you play Shantae, it's from the same company. And also, there's another game which I didn't expect it to be funny, but it is. High on Life. Right? So High on Life, initially I thought that it's going to be shit because it copies Rick and Morty. But no, it has a lot of good jokes. And it's fun to play. If it's fun to play and I'm having fun, and I wouldn't say it's woke necessarily, but it's like very California oriented, very Rick and Morty-ish. So yeah, the guns talk to you and that type of thing. So High on Life, I was surprised. It's a decent game. Okay, it's not a masterpiece. You're not going to remember it 5 years down the road, but you're going to have fun. Now, regarding High on Life, it's $70. You have to be a millionaire. See, this is why I do not like the fact that some people in my chat, I don't even know how to phrase this. I don't even know how to phrase this because YouTube TOS. But there are, okay. There are places where you can get a discount. Fucking hell, like, I genuinely, like, do not understand. Every time I'm talking about a game and I'm saying, hey, you can play it, oh, it's $70. Just, I don't know. How can I tell you? How can I tell you more than this? How can I persuade you to understand what I'm trying to express it? I feel like one of those chatbots AI where the filter is kicking in. And I'm struggling to describe to you how you can buy that game. Buy that game. Buy. I'm pretty sure like some people in the chat get it, but yeah, I'm surrounded by good Christians, I think. It's the most fucking insane thing, you know, like I tell people like, okay, so this game is good, and they're like, but V, I do not like the developer. I do not want to support the game. But V, it's too expensive. Okay, what can I say? You know, what can I say? I mean, it's true. It's true. Too expensive. Don't want to support the developer. All right. I would understand if it was a multiplayer game that has an online-only connection. Then you'd have an argument. But like... And every single time. Every fucking single time. You know? Like, with no exception. And I try to explain this to people again and again and again. And they still give me the same arguments. I bet next time I'm going to explain to you the game. You know, like, considering that I have an eye problem, maybe I should get an eye patch. Anyway, right. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the comment section.